Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be reacting to a video by the YouTuber named Mopi, in a video titled, Why I'm Leaving Too Hype. So let's begin.
It's Mopi. By the title and the tweets that have already gone out on Twitter, you guys already know.
Distancing, so straight away right off the bat there. I know he's got a monitor down to his left, but he's also distancing with his eyes. He looked to his left, far left. Distancing is a sign that you are uncomfortable with the situation and you're trying to distance yourself from that situation. So basically what he's doing is he's trying to get his body away from the situation, the stressor, which in this case is the camera, but if you're talking with people, it'd be the person you're talking to. Now he knows he can't leave, he has to make this video, so that's why his body is trying to get him to go away. If he was standing up, his feet would be pointed left in a direction, basically suggesting that he wants to walk away, but he knows he can't. So that's what I mean when I'm saying distancing behaviors.
And yes, I am leaving Too Hype, and I'm going to be talking about why in this video. Before getting into things, I want to make a few things clear. First few being that I turned down being in the 100 Thieves deal, and I chose to leave Too Hype. I'm not doing YouTube for the money or the clout. I don't like that word, but I gotta use it. It's not fame, it's clout, internet clout. I'm not doing it for...
A lot of rapid blinking, a lot of rapid eye movements and head movements there, showing that he's uncomfortable. Now in body language, I say this in every video, you need a baseline, you need to know what a person does normally, and then you can see how much they're deviating from that baseline, how abnormal their body language is for them. So I just need to watch a bit more to gain a better picture, but it does look like he's under emotional stress, and he's kind of being sincere as well because he was looking at the camera when he says he's leaving Too Hype, so that's definitely set. But yeah, let's continue.
I got serious issues with 4 of the people in the 6 members of the group. Not counting Cash and Mitchell. I got respect for them, but the rest of them, no.
There's something fishy there. His eyes, notice his eye contact. Now, between 30% and 60% of what we're trying to communicate is done by eyes. It's eye contact. Now, when he says the people that he doesn't have problems with, he's avoiding all eye contact, which is really interesting. Now, I've only watched a minute of this video, so it would be stupid for me to say, oh, he's definitely lying. But it's interesting cues that he's giving off, and it's kind of, from what I'm seeing, it's unstable, it's unplanned, it's rapid, it's just a bit fishy.
Making this video for money or clout, you are sadly mistaken, because I walked away from so much money. You guys have no idea, so much.
He's being truthful there. Notice he looks up to his top left, he's trying to remember something. When he's talking about the money, he looks up and goes, so much money. That's a sign that he's actually remembering stuff. So he's remembering times where he could have made a lot of money and he hasn't. And the fact that he's maintaining eye contact with the camera shows that he's telling the truth. Now, that's great, but that makes me think, well, why wasn't he looking at the camera beforehand when he was saying about people leaving, people he has trouble with in the group? Why was that different from now? Because I'm forming his baseline is that when he's telling the truth, he's looking at the camera and he's thinking about things as well. He does that cue. So it's interesting. You notice the deviation, the changes, and I need to establish when I'm thinking he's being truthful, so then I can determine when I think he's being untruthful.
And so much clout too, because I'm not about, like, I could have faked it. I could have faked it and gone along with everything and been a part of 100 Thieves. I would have loved to be a part of 100 Thieves. And that would have been a lot of money too. But
so micro expression there when he says about money, he smiles slightly. So it does make me think he's definitely telling the truth about that. He could have made a lot of money, but notice his eye contact as well. He's trying to distance himself sometimes in this. He looks left and he also looks down. I don't know if he's looking at a monitor, and that's really annoying with these videos, because if there's no monitor there, looking down is a sign of shame, guilt. Not that you're telling a lie, but you're ashamed of what you've done. You feel quite guilty about what you've done. You can't really use it to tell if they're lying or not without other things backing it up. But yeah, it's quite interesting.
I'm not doing it for those reasons. I'm doing YouTube for fun, and being around those guys is not fun. Knowing all
I think he's telling the truth when he says about not doing it for money and it's not fun anymore. He does look at the camera. He's being sincere when he says that. Now, I did a body language analysis of Jessa a couple of days ago. If you haven't seen it, please go and check it out. Basically, from that video, I could determine he was being very truthful, very honest about what he's saying. This guy as well, I think he's telling the truth about it wasn't fun for him. So he's clearly under a lot of stress. He's clearly finding it very difficult working with his fellow YouTubers. So yeah, there is something going on there, but that's up to you to decide. I'm just here to read the body language. I don't like the drama. I don't care about the drama. People always comment, you know, oh, you're taking sides, you're biased. I'm not. I don't care. I've never seen these people before. I'm literally just reacting to videos that I've been recommended by you guys.
The group, I would not be able to have pride within myself and be happy knowing I'm staying with these guys, knowing all that they have done. So I am...
He's telling the truth again. So notice he rubs his legs. That's what we call a pacifying behavior. A pacifying behavior is basically a behavior that we do to pacify ourselves. What that means is if we're stressed, the body needs a way to get rid of that stress. So rubbing down the knees, which he literally just did, it shows that he's doing a pacifying behavior. That means he's stressed and his body is basically trying to get rid of the stress, calm himself down. Scratching of the neck, touching of the face, fidgeting, those are all pacifying behaviors as well. Trying to basically make the body or the mind think it's relaxing itself. And that's what we do to relax ourselves. And if you're in a stressful situation, you'll find that you need to itch. You'll find that you're very jittery. If you're nervous as well, it can also be if you're nervous. People shake their legs quite a lot. So, yeah, a perfect example of a pacifying behavior there.
I have no clue what I'm going to do, but I'm not being around those people. And getting into talking about every...
Quickly there, he's telling the truth again. He's not being around those people. He's been sincere. He's looking at the camera when he says that. He's not trying to distance himself when he says that. He's simply looking at the camera and delivering something honestly. Nothing there is abnormal. Nothing tells me he's lying. If he was, say, looking at the camera and I don't know, rapid head movement or something like that, it would bring it into question. But he's, from what I can tell, all the cues that he's giving off are sincere and honest. Now, it's interesting how that affects the drama that's happening between the two of them. But again, that's up to you to decide what's going on there.
Sent me a cease and desist letter. So I do need to be careful with what I'm saying because they're threatening to sue me. I've literally only said L-hype and I'll be making a video and they're already sending me a cease and desist letter.
So he keeps doing pacifying behaviors, he keeps hitting his legs, and then he did a short rub. He's clearly very affected by what's going on here. He's kind of afraid of the legal stuff as well, as you would be, and he's showing all the signs, but he's also doing a lot of gesturing. So when we gesture, it's kind of what I call positive body language. It means that you're basically confident. You're outward going. You're trying to demonstrate your point. You're doing a lot of hand gestures. Now, when we feel hard done by, when we feel guilty, and when we're sort of lying, our body puts us in a position where we want to sort of act submissive, act like we're not a threat. And that's sort of what you'd expect from a liar. He doesn't do that. His gestures are confident. He's outward going. So it's really interesting, this analysis. Now, I think what's going on here, and I don't want to comment on the drama, but it might be a case that Jessa has one view of events and this guy has another view of events, and they both believe that view, which is why their body language is giving off the signs that they're telling the truth, but they just have different views of events. Now, that happens all the time. Body language can only tell you if the person believes something. If they believe that they're in the right and they believe what they think, their body language will show that. So they can both their body language can be indicative of the truth, but they can still be wrong. So one person might be in the bad side here and one person might be in the right side, but if they both believe what they're saying, their body language is going to tell the truth. It's going to say that they're being truthful. So that's important to note here.
They're willing to do and say anything. I'll be going into a lot more later about that, but yeah, I'm going to be talking about a lot. So I need to make it very clear that I'm still legally a part of 2Hype. I have left the production side. I am technically still part of the group until formal corporate matters are resolved. So that is why so much of this video is very vague, but continuing on. But to big picture, and if you don't care to sit through the entire video, which I hope you do, because you know I hope not to make it too long, but there's a lot to possibly take away from this and just know about the online scene. But I've just been completely used just used and abused, like used online. My Mopi person.
Interesting. From what I can see with that, he believes it. He is telling the truth. He's being honest about it. Yes, he was looking to his left, but now I said before that that was a distancing behavior. Now that was true, but also when you're thinking, you don't always look up. Not everyone looks up all of the time. I look down sometimes, I look sideways sometimes, and it's kind of difficult to distinguish, well, is that distancing or is he just remembering? Now, what I can see here, it looks like he's kind of trying to remember something. It doesn't feel like distancing. He doesn't look too far to the left, and he doesn't instantly divert his attention back to the camera, which is what distancing people do. He kind of keeps it there to think of something, and then his words match his eye movement. He looks away, he thinks, and then he delivers his speech. That shows that he's remembering something. So, yeah, it's interesting. From what I can tell, he's being honest and truthful. He's finding it difficult. He's showing all the behaviors of someone who's stressed, who's going through quite a lot at the moment. So that is interesting.
Like as Tyler, like everybody just forgetting about Tyler and only caring about Mopi, and Mopi showing up for the videos. Everybody just doesn't care about Tyler.
He believes that. Notice he inhales, which is a pacifying behavior again. He inhales in a stressful way, so he's, as opposed to just normal breathing, and then he instantly does a pacifying behavior on his legs. So that shows he's stressed by it and indicates that he's telling the truth. He does feel used, which is really interesting when you take into account the other video that I analysed of Jessa saying that this guy and his dad were basically threatening them and being irrational. So, you know, maybe it's something to do with the dad's side, and obviously we're not going to get a body language video of him done because he hasn't done one. But yeah, it does look like his dad's doing most of the stuff, not him. So yeah, interesting.
They're going to say otherwise. Like when I put out my tweet, they all just tried saying they helped me out more than anyone, showing texts of support, like all that stuff. But no, I'm not having some fake agenda like fake agenda that went out with like TD and Los go out there. Like
it looks like he's telling the truth again. He looks up to the left, he's thinking, he's remembering, and then he looks back at the camera and delivers his speech. People who lie don't really do that or can't do that consistently without giving other tells. But all his body language shows he's stressed and he's remembering things and he's delivering it to the camera in a confident way. So much so that he's doing hand gestures, he's doing a lot of gesturing, which is interesting. So I'd say he's telling the truth, he's being honest, he's remembering events, he's not making anything up. Which is, yeah, it just shows how two people, or multiple people in the case of this, can have totally different views but both believe them. And it looks like a misunderstanding as opposed to anything else. So, interesting.
Nothing to talk about with Cash and Mitchell. They're good people. But, yeah, going into...
Subtle head nod there when he says they're good people. Nods indicates that he wants you to think that he's telling the truth. I don't know if that was a micro expression. Basically, there are two types of head nods. If you do an impromptu head nod, i.e. something that you don't plan, your body just naturally does, so a short head nod like that, that indicates that you're very much telling the truth because you've just done it subconsciously and you haven't even thought about it, which means what you're saying is truthful. However, if it's a longer, sort of slower head nod, it's intentional, that means that they're trying to get across to you that they're telling the truth, not that they're actually telling the truth. So liars can do this all the time, they can do a slow head nod, but also people telling the truth. So you can't really use that saying if he's telling the truth or not. But yeah, if it was a micro expression, which I don't really think it is, that is more telling about what the person's thinking. If it's a short, sharp head nod that it wasn't planned, he didn't even think about it, he just did it when he said it, that shows that he's telling the truth.
I have issues with, I'll start out with Jesser, because everybody's probably wondering, like, wasn't that your friend since elementary school? It's like, yeah, he was. He's gone, though. It's just Jesser. There is no Jesse. And he's been doing some really nasty stuff that...
Pacifying behaviors, again, and staring at the camera. Interesting. Now, because we did the body language analysis of Jesser, which found that he was being very truthful, very honest about what he's saying. Now, this guy is saying the complete opposite, but he's also showing the body language signs that he believes it. So... very interesting.
To see him again or talk to him again. First of which, that happened more recently, but I'll get into stuff that happened over the year and past years. But and Chris was supporting this too. But Jesse saying I'm fighting serious demons and he's worried about me and basically just painting me out to be like mentally unstable because I put out my L hype tweet. Like, I can't describe how I feel about the manipulation and like the disgust for what he's doing. I never thought that getting into YouTube years down the line, I would be having my own brother manipulated by Jesser and tried to be used against me as a...
He's doing a lot of thinking. Now, through the whole of this video, he seems quite planned in what he's saying. Not as planned as other YouTubers, not as planned as Jesser was, but kind of structured and coherent. When he talks about Jesser, his so-called best friend, all of that breaks down. His eye movement is so rapid. He's looking up, he's thinking, then he looks down, he looks left, he looks right. His speech is interesting. His hand movements slow down, they change. The rapidity, the speed of it changes. So it looks like he's having a tough time understanding this all and delivering it, and he's trying to basically recall it in an effective way, which does indicate truthfulness, because when you lie, you kind of have a set idea of what you think and you deliver it, whereas he is sort of thinking about it, recalling it. He shows a lot of stress when he's thinking about it, which would be natural for someone telling the truth. So it's interesting to see the deviations between his side of things and Jess's side of things. So if you haven't watched the other video, please do go and check it out. So yeah.
To make people think that he cares about me and that he's reaching out to my family to support me. Like, I can't even, like, it's crazy. I'm speechless. I don't know how to form words right now because it's so ridiculous. After I saw Jesse talk about my brother in his video and my mom too, which is 100% not okay with me, I texted my brother and this is what he said. I can't imagine how weird it was for him to be talking to Jesser, and like, they've never talked before, and he's trying to make it out like he was trying to help me by talking to him on the phone, and then he just said online like he's like it. I don't even know what to say. And the eyes too, like, he probably just rubbed his eyes and started to just get watery eyes. Like, it's an act. It's all manipulation act. He does not care. He only cares because he wants to uphold his online image. That's all he cares about. That's all.
Yeah, he looks like he's definitely telling the truth here. Very strongly. All of his signs indicate truthfulness, which is really interesting because, as I said before, Jesser did the exact opposite. He said the exact opposite, what this guy's saying, and all of his body language was being truthful. There wasn't anything in there that I thought indicated a liar. So I think Jesser definitely believes his side of things, but I think Mopi, is it? He definitely believes his side of things. So obviously there's been a breakdown of communication. If I was going to give advice, I'd say talk to each other. But yeah, I don't know if this drama will unfold anymore, to be honest. I'll definitely do more body language analysis if you want me to, of other YouTubers, because I know there's a lot of people in Too Hype. But yeah.
It's not even Jesse anymore. It's just Jesser was never there for me. And when I talked to him in person and he said I hugged him and tried to use it against me, whatever, like, he hugged me. I wish I said just, like, I don't get away, like, whatever, but.
So he definitely finds that awkward. He's being truthful about the situation. He did a pacifying behavior that shows he's stressed about it. These are all tales of truthfulness. So he is telling the truth. Very much so. All of his body language suggests that. Doesn't indicate a lie at all what he's doing there. He's clearly going through a lot of emotions. It's kind of sad to see, really, because you got two friends, or who were friends, falling out, and they both believe that they're in the right. It's, yeah, just talk to each other.
He asked me what my goal was with the L-Hype tweet and if I wanted a bag. Like, he wasn't going there to check on me or really talk to me. He made me feel bad. He tried to make me feel bad about the hate he was getting. Like, it's ridiculous. Like,
micro expression, he smiles when he says that, which indicates that he finds it kind of humorous that people would side with him, that sort of stuff. So yeah, he finds it almost comical how ridiculous it is.
The fact that he tries using the rent that he helped me out with and that he helped me out with my channel in the first place, and he uses that against me to, like, keep me under his thumb, it's terrible. It's not friendship. That's not a friend. because of all the stuff that's been happening, I wish I never took his help, and I almost wish I didn't go move into the YouTube house in Yorba Linda. I wish I just went to college sometimes and didn't get like this deeply involved in any of this, because how bad it's turned out. Like I've literally just been a pawn, I feel like, to his grind to 10 million subscribers. Like he helped me out with that stuff, but it's all because he just needs people around him to make videos, and supporting that feeling that I have of being just used. When we made the VR channels, he took 51% of my VR channel. Like all those channels were just started up for money because VR channels were the fastest growing at the time. He took 51% of my channel and then bragged about it. Like I heard that, and he'll deny that or whatever, but that shit.
Very truthful. All of what he's saying there, body language backs up what he's saying. He's being truthful about it. He's being honest. Doesn't mean he's right at all, because he could have a different view of events, but it does mean truthfulness. I mean, you'll see in the videos that, I mean, these clearly contradict each other. You've got one guy thinking he's right, all of his body language is saying that he's being truthful, and you've got Jessa who thinks he's right, all of his body language is saying he's being truthful. So body language only goes so far in drama, and that's why I don't comment on drama, because this guy could completely believe what he believes, and Jessa could completely believe what he believes, and so long as they believe different things, but they believe it, their body language is going to contradict. So you can't use body language solely as a way to talk about drama, if you get me. It's an insight, of course, but it's not the be-all and end-all of drama. You can't go, he's lying, he's telling the truth, that means he's right, because that's not how it works. Most of the time, both sides will be telling the truth, both sides will be honest, and you have to sort of understand, well, this guy sees it differently to this guy, there's been a breakdown in communication, and that's what's caused the shift, but they're still both being honest about it. So that's really interesting.
This dude can say that about his elementary school friend, that he owns like his channel, and like that's something to brag about. Like it's like nothing I want to be around. And another story too, just how like selfish this dude is, and actually all the guys, this applies to all of them. But we were in a Discord call when it was time for Moochie to join 2hype. We were talking, and I put it out there. I was like, hey, is anybody else willing to give up a % or two so Mitchell feels more part of the group? Nobody wanted to. He's just on a tiny salary now. Mitchell doesn't own a % of 2hype.
Smiles, he finds it almost funny, but in a bad way. He finds it comical how they still wouldn't give that guy a certain percentage of the funds. So yeah, he feels bad about that, and that's why he's raising it in this video, and he's being truthful. That did happen. So interesting.
Was not willing to give up 1% for our elementary school friend, one of the dudes that adds the most to the group, pure good person, funny entertainment. These guys in Jesser could not give up 1% for him. We could have all given up a %, and he could have had 6% of 2hype. That sounds amazing to me. But no, he's just on a tiny salary because.
So he smiles when he says that'd be amazing to me. He clearly cares about this guy. I don't know who the guy is, but he clearly feels strongly about it. He cares about him, and he wants him to have the 6%. That would be great. He says that. All his body language shows that he wants that to happen. And he's stressed because he does a pacifying behavior that they didn't do that. So, this guy clearly has good intentions. He clearly believes what he's saying, and he wants the best for that guy. But yeah, he also believes that he's been hard done by his friends, and that they've fallen out because of that. So it's just sad to look at, really.
Business. It's not for fun. It's not for fun or friendship. It's a business. And the thing that makes it so annoying is they try to paint it as not a business, and it's all about the friendship and all of them doing it for fun. It's like, no. Stop being so, like, stop trying to keep the greediness and selfishness in the dark. Like, that's what's aggravating for the people that have been abused by it. Like, own up to the shit. Like, stop lying. Like, it's so bad.
So there's something interesting to note there. When he says lying, he sort of instantly looks up. He basically is saying that to basically paint a picture. He doesn't believe it, and the fact that he looks up, he was thinking about it. So he might have believed it when he said it, but then he instantly thinks, well, is that a good thing to call them? So we do that a lot. We'll insult people if we're in an argument, and then we'll regret it instantly and think, why did I say that? Or is that the best choice of words? So he does stumble on it a bit, but he's calling them a liar. He's calling his friends liars. So that is a big accusation, and he clearly shows that he's thinking about that accusation. If you notice, when he says liar, he looks up, his body language changes because he's like, I'm calling them a liar. I need to think about that. And he does think about it in the moment after. So it's just a perfect example of body language. If you want to study body language, these are the videos to watch because they do so much. Their body language shifts. You can form a baseline. You can then see. You could even draw up a graph as to how much body language they shift when talking about a certain subject. It's fascinating. It really interests me. And I hope you guys share some of that interest.
The sidemen are a great example. Like, they're a wannabe sidemen, but they're terrible people. Like, what else would you expect from a wannabe sidemen group from LA? Like, it's bound to be fake as hell, just greedy, selfish, self-gain, like all of that. So sidemen are amazing because they're genuine. They do stuff fair. They don't abuse people on the business side. I found out some stuff on.
If you look at his mouth there, actually, and I'm not going to rewind because this video is about to end because my camera's going to run out, but his mouth sort of quivers. It shows anger. Now that's a micro expression as well. He's angry at this, and that's the only tell of anger I've seen in this, kind of, is that his mouth sort of closes as if he's angry. So that's telling. He's angered by them. So if there's any question, and I don't think we need to watch any more of this video because I've built up a big picture of it. All of his body language is telling the truth. He's angry at what these guys have done to him, or what he thinks these guys have done to him. I'm not going to comment on the drama. He feels bad about that guy not being given the 6%. All of his body language says that what he's saying there is truthful, it's honest, and it's genuine. So, yeah, this might affect the drama going forward, but just note that body language, although I can tell you if he's being truthful, it doesn't mean that their side is correct. It just means that they believe their side is correct. So, yeah, make up your own mind, but please just keep that in mind. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe because it helps the channel grow. And yeah, thank you for watching.